So I do this eye pretty much with a 6B pencil. I prefer the 6B because it's softer. Remember how I said that? The higher the number with the B means it's going to be soft. So I think it's easier to work with. But like I've said, if you're heavy-handed, you might want to start with a 2B and work your way up. The problem is the 2B, you'll notice, is a lot harder. So it's the lead's a lot harder. So it's harder to get, it's more difficult to get like that nice smooth tone rather than just line. So that's why I prefer this. I do think the eye's the most enjoyable to shade, so if that's any consolation. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is show where you want the white of the paper, the gleam of light. Then fill in the pupil black.
What pencil are you using?
A 6B. I'm going to use a 6B, I think, pretty much for the whole thing. Then you want to start to put down a shadow right here underneath, because that lid's going to create a shadow because it has eyelashes on it. This is a crease from your eye, the skin. Darken right underneath it and then shade to light as you reach the eye. We'll layer eyelashes on top of that. The tear duct, just put a little bit of tone. The iris, which is this right here, is always going to have a darker, vibrant, more bright tint on the outer edge of your iris, unless your eyes are such a dark brown that they blend to black into your pupil. If you looked at the person next to you, you could see, even with dark brown eyes, that the edge of their iris is a little bit brighter, which makes it look more realistic. Didn't that automatically, like, all of a sudden make it look more realistic? Okay, so one thing I would use the 2B for, remember your eyeball is a ball, right? Behind flaps of skin, it's round. So you need some shading on the edge, so do that with the 2B. There's two lines here. This is a line of your lower lid that's going to touch your eyeball. This is the one that the eyelashes will come off of. Make sure you're not drawing eyelashes on your eyeball. Placing the eyebrow, take your pencil. That's where your eyebrow should be. Then it's not too close, too far away from your eye. And then you want to look at the hairs. So a lot of times the hairs kind of grow straight up, right there. And then the hairs, you know, start to go sideways. And depending, I mean, this is something that you would look at on your celebrity. Made it a little bit bushy right there. So I'm showing texture in the eyebrow. If you look at your celebrity, yours might just be tone. You might not actually see the texture of the hair. But if you do, draw it. And draw it the way you're seeing it. I blend this lightly just to get a little bit of shadowing on the white of the paper and between the hairs. So now I'm going to take my, actually I'm going to use my 6B, but I think most of you might want to use your 2B. And we need to add the shading here, which is the eye socket. So there's an indentation here. So everybody's going to need shading where your eye socket is. And you want your strokes to curve. And then we can blend it. So there's nothing on here that you're outlining. Let's blend the white of the eye. So it fades to a lighter tone here. Start to blend this, and then we'll get those eyelashes on there and pull out any highlights. Leave that little strip right there, the white of the paper. Light will hit that. And then, if you have a male celebrity, the eyelashes might be something really minimal, shorter and stubbier, sort of like that. Just a little bit of lash texture. Can you guys even see that on there?
Yeah.
So it might be something kind of really subtle like that. Now if you have a girl, you know, a woman with mascara, it might be a lot curlier. But notice how the tone needs to match the pupil. The eyelash tone will match the pupil tone. And it should all be sort of one shape. You won't see eyelashes here, most likely, unless if they have a lot of mascara on. You might see a few eyelashes here. And on the bottom, you're probably only going to see bottom lashes in this corner there. So that is shading the eye.